Hi, I'm Heather O'Neill, and this is the Human Resource Frame for Module 7. The Human Resource Frame, according to Bowman and Deal, is that the organization is viewed as a family. Each family has relationships, and some relationships are better than others. And, in the school world, there's definitely an understanding of how that works. Some paras work better in some teachers' classrooms and vice versa. That's just a simple example I can think of since I have paras on my staff. The focus is on the needs, skills, attitudes, teamwork, and communication. They make the point that people make up an organization, and organizations exist to serve humans. And organizations need humans, and humans need the organization. Without one, you can't have the other. And they make the point that the leader acts as a servant and a catalyst. The leader is there to meet the needs of the people that make up the organization. In my leadership pyramid, I made it very basic, but I did put the principal at the bottom. I feel like the principal is the one who sets the tone for everyone in the building. They just, dictate kind of the culture. If they are doing things, then staff are usually going to follow suit and get on board with that. They, are the ones that, just set the tone for how the building's going to run. They're there to meet the needs of the teachers when they have questions or concerns or parent issues. They're there to do all kinds of support and, supportive role and do as much as possible. I apologize. My screen is kind of covering my picture here. The next thing I put in my leadership pyramid is the office staff. And the reason I put them next is because they are always, kind of a liaison for everybody. They kind of play that support role as well as the principal. They tend to, get phone calls from parents, so they kind of are sometimes a mediator or, the liaison between the teacher and, the parent, or the principal and the parent. They handle a lot of confidential information. They handle, medication. They act as nurses. So I feel like they also kind of help set that tone and the culture of the building. Sometimes they're the first face that a lot of people see when coming into the building. And so, if they've got a smile on their face, it kind of sets the tone for how that parent may react to a situation, or, how welcome they feel in the building. They, definitely help to keep teachers organized, with keeping up with parent-teacher conferences. At least in our school, they do the scheduling for that. They help with transportation. And so I feel like they just play a huge role, in many situations. The next thing, the next level of the next point I made on my leadership pyramid, was a combination. And I feel like the cooks, our maintenance personnel, custodians, our counselors, and our paras all kind of fit at that next role. I debated about whether to put teachers next, and then, the cooks, maintenance, custodians, counselors, and paras. And after, some debate in my own head, I decided to put all of the support personnel first before the teachers. And the reason I did that is because they also help to keep things running smoothly. My paras are supportive in the classroom, to help keep those teachers running. They definitely are like a front line to my special ed students. I work closely with the counselor and the social workers to keep our students balanced and on board. And so I feel like they kind of help keep the kids at a good place, so that the teachers, when they have the students, that they're able to teach the students and get the most out of the students. I feel like the custodians, maintenance, and cooks kind of fall into the same category. And, if they have a smiling face and they're happy to keep up with, all the requests and demands of setting up and tearing down for things, making items for special events going on at school, fixing things when we, need something fixed in our rooms. If they're willing to jump in and make those things happen, at any time, I feel like that's what helps keep the teachers sane, and having all those things done behind the scenes makes their job a lot easier. If their classrooms are clean and, everything's working properly, it makes their job, much smoother, and it helps them to be focused on what's, at hand, and that's the students as being our number one priority. So next I put teachers. They definitely get or the front line when dealing with the students and making sure that they're getting what they need to be successful. The next point I felt like was the parents, and I feel like, they hopefully are working hand in hand with our teachers and helping to support our students to be the most successful that they can be. Teachers can only do so much during the day, and we're hoping that by building those relationships with our parents, that they can see how vital their role is in this pyramid and in this partnership, in our organization. And then how, those good relationships working together helps to build a strong community. The stronger your community is, the more supportive it is for the school, and it all kind of ties in hand. I kind of debated about whether to put all three of these at the same level as well, but I feel like the teachers are even a little bit more supportive of the parents sometimes than the parents realize. I know we have a lot of supportive parents in our community, but the teachers really are kind of the backbone of that. And so after community, I put alumni. We want our students to go out and experience the world, but we do want them to come back and be a strong part of our community. And so I feel like that, is just another step in the community of being part of that family or that organization. And then ultimately students are at the top. They're our number one focus. We want what's best for them, socially, emotionally, and obviously academically. We want them to be all around, well developed, people, to be successful, to be able to come back to our community, like I stated before, to be, supportive alumni, and potentially be parents and teachers in our community or another staff member in our building. So I feel like it's kind of a loop or a full circle as well. But I definitely, feel like the principal sets the tone for all of the other members of the organization. So I feel like this could be a little bit of a fluid pyramid as I take on more leadership roles, but this is where I think I would start. And as I live and learn, I can adjust it from there. Thank you.